Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. So today me and wait a second, let me just make sure everything works. Today me and mncke. I don't know how to pronounce your nickname by the way, and I forgot to ask. Um, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, just can you hear me? All right. So the whole point of this of doing this live is that you can ask your own questions, and at any time of this stream you can ask any questions. Just put them to chat, and yeah, as usual, I'm cross streaming to several different sources: Watch People Code, Twitch, and YouTube. And yeah, let me check this YouTube. Okay, what the hell? Okay, it works. So if anyone has issues with low bandwidth, there is a mirror available on YouTube. Wait a second. Okay, this is annoying. Okay, I have a bunch of questions, and I hope everyone in chat will ask your own questions. But my first question is, how did you start developing Squire? What was by the way, were you at the button subreddit from the very beginning, or did you find out about it later?
I found out about the button on the 2nd of April, and I checked out all the different religions that appeared in this short period of time, and I found out that Knights of the Button had this really strange battalion system in place, so I decided, well, why don't I enhance it in a way? Why don't I just automate it? So I just started developing Squire from the scratch, and I had the first working version, I don't know, in a couple of hours, and I made a post about it, and this whole thing just rolled over and over and over to zombies, to necromancer, and so on.
All right, so I think that Knights of the Button appeared I don't remember. Was it the first week of the button?
I think it was the first day of the button.
Really? I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, to me it seems like it was in the middle of April, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was actually the first. Okay. Anyway, so was it difficult to reverse engineer the buttons protocol?
The button is actually really, really simple. Just one EP endpoint and nothing else, and a WebSocket broadcast.
Uh-huh.
So from the technical point of view, this is not rocket science. This is actually really, really simple.
Okay.
So, but from the Squire point of view, to coordinate all the people, to make sure they don't collide, to deal with all the latencies, it just requires a bit of thought.
Okay, so I know that Squire has really nice graphs, like collision chance and expected button life gain with regards to collision and lots of those interesting stuff. Was it difficult to figure out all these numbers?
I like playing with numbers and doing some obscure stats on obscure datasets. So
Okay.
I just enjoy figuring all this stuff out, and all this stuff is actually rendered by an IPython notebook, and the graphs are updated every couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a question. Sorry, what is all this about programming? Right. Well, the talk show is about programming mostly, but you can ask questions that's not just about programming. And was a question from Suzy Star. Why you still want to keep the button alive?
Why not?
Well, but it takes efforts. I mean, it's one thing that if you just press the button, 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Another thing is writing a whole system that keeps it going.
This is interesting. This is fun. Like, I played with a lot of technologies during developing Squire and Necromancer. I learned a lot of stuff. I met a lot of people on IRC and in the subreddit. This is just fun, and I'm doing fun stuff. So this is my basic motivation for this.
Okay, makes sense. By the way, when we were discussing things before the stream, you told me that you get a lot of hate, like from the half of the button. Why?
My theory is that anything notable on the internet just by default receives hate from some people. And the button receives hate, Power Language receives hate, Knights of the Button receive hate, Assassins receive hate, everyone receives hate, and I'm just one of everyone.
Okay, by the way, there is another question from chat. What's the library used for the graphs?
Matplotlib.
Okay, I'm going to type this in chat. Yeah, by the way, I'm going to start recording just in case. So yeah, I'm recording just in case, although it's later. Anyway, I think the recording will be available automatically on YouTube. Just I'm also doing this on the client side. Anyway, so the question, another question from chat is, how did you end up recruiting all the zombies? What were the logistics in setting up and recruiting zombies?
I would actually prefer not to disclose it, but I can say that more than a half of zombies are donated to me. Like, people constantly send me emails, Reddit PMs with alt accounts, and I just add them to the horde, I guess.
Okay. Do you do a lot of work manually? Because like you have a few hundred accounts, how much is it automated?
I have just a script that logs in, checks the button flare to see if the person has already pressed the button, changes the password and adds it to the vault. So it's automated for the most part.
So yeah, so you just type some stuff and well,
yeah.
It's not really okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, okay. There is another question that I actually wanted to ask too. Any prediction when the button will end?
I have no idea. Like yesterday, I added this graph. I'll link it to the chat.
Okay.
So my prediction is a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks.
Like 20th of June.
Okay. Which is like my birthday. By the way, okay. Anyway, but the zombies are running out. Like they are. Well, today, like 50 of those zombies were used, which is like probably the highest amount of zombies used. Do you think that you have enough zombies to keep it running until well, the middle of June?
Yes. The number of zombies in the pool doesn't reflect all the zombies that I have. And I'm going to add more and more to the pool, I guess, until I run out of them.
I mean, it's really clear that after the button reached 1 million pressers, it's sort of like caught this drop in pressers.
It was dropping in presses all the time, so
well,
it's expected.
Okay. Okay, so there are a few more questions. Wow, you guys are really active. Thanks for that. How do you feel about cheater flags?
How do I feel about it? Well, they are just a logical consequence of the system in place. how it works now, you send some information that may or may not be correct. If you use the provided UI, you always send information that is correct. But if you try to cheat your way into some flare, you get cheater flare. So I think it's a very reasonable thing to implement on the part of Reddit admins.
Do you think that all people with cheater flare acquired it on purpose? I mean, are there people who legitimately got
Yes, if
cheater flare, well, for no reason?
if the click was very, very delayed, like a few minutes delayed.
Okay, yeah. Can this actually happen? I mean,
yeah, there were a few reports on the sub.
okay, makes sense, I guess. Okay, I have a related questions. What do you know about on purpose? So people who pressed the button but didn't receive any flare. There are some people like that. They're called on purpose.
Purples?
Yeah.
They're just grays. They're just grays. Like
yeah, maybe.
Flare.
I don't remember. They're very, very rare, but I saw some complaints on the subreddit.
Well, you could just press the button and plug your internet off. Okay, this may happen. This may.
I don't know. I mean, somehow it happens. All right. How much of the coding was yours, and how much help did you get, and how many man-hours were put into this system?
Pretty much all the coding is mine. Apart from this beeping thing in the Squire UI. How much help did I get? I received a lot of encouragement on the sub and on our channel, but from the coding standpoint, no one actually collaborated with me on the actual coding.
Okay.
We had a few like competing things, like the emergency room and a few others, but the functionality was lacking, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
How many man hours? I guess 40 or so. I have a full-time job. I have things to spend my time on beside the button. So, and it's not like the system in place is actually complex or complicated. It's just a thing that presses a button on client and a thing that presses a button on server. So that's it. Mm-hmm. Actual code base is really small, like 1,000 lines total.
Okay. By the way, it's available on GitHub, so I think you can check.
Not really.
Not really, right? I think I saw the subreddit, or I think I saw the repository, the button. So it's not really available.
Yes. It was open source until we encountered assassins that tried DDoSing the Squire, that tried infiltrating it with bots, that tried distributing modified clients.
Uh-huh.
So I was dragged into this cyber war, I guess, and I had to make the code closed, just to keep the safeguards, and I put in place secret.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. This is actually really interesting. So there was a question: what is the total number of available zombie accounts? And I already told that you will not disclose this. So what are the reasons for not disclosing this? Power language?
Yes. First reason is power language and Reddit admins. Second reason is just I don't feel that disclosing the number of available accounts or something, or the rate I receive them per day, is keeping with the trust people actually give me in lending their accounts to me. And the third reason is that the only thing basically left in the button is the precise thing. And knowing the total number of zombies is a very powerful thing to know if you are aiming to become the precise.
Yeah. Okay. This is actually makes sense. Do you think that the precise will be one of the zombie accounts or not?
Actually,
I mean, you know the total number of zombie accounts. So are you aiming for
no, I don't. I have like hundreds of mails in my mailbox not yet read with passwords and stuff like that. So actually, I don't yet know how to proceed with all this precise thing. One thing I thought of was to implement like a lottery. So you contribute a zombie to the project. It gets added to the pool. And if such a situation arises that a zombie pressed and then -1 second came and no one yet pressed, a zombie might just not press. And the previous zombie will automatically become precise. So basically, by donating accounts to the zombie project, you are entering the lottery to become the precise, and your chance is proportional to the number of accounts you donated.
Okay. This is actually really interesting. And by the way, you talked a bit about -1. So if I remember correctly, the button sends like a tick every second. But after it reaches there, it sends 2 or 3 zero ticks. So there are some extra ticks. And what is the purpose of these ticks?
Well, obviously we cannot know this because we don't have access to the source, and we can't talk to the people who actually implemented it. But my guess would be that. So imagine you have a very shitty internet connection and you want to get 0S flare. So your only chance to get 0S flare and reset the timer while it is still at 0 is having this small grace period, someone called it on Reddit, of a couple of seconds at the end of this whole thing. So I think it's actually a reasonable thing to design and implement.
Okay, but what is the purpose of ticks? I mean, if Reddit admins wanted people to get 0S flyers, wouldn't it be simpler to just not log the button like for 5 seconds, but send the ticks?
This is basically the same thing. They just don't log the button for 3 seconds for 2 seconds after.
Okay. I guess this is really the same thing. So okay, and I think I remember. I remember you writing about latency experiments, and I think I remember that you wrote that it's possible to send a tick within 20 seconds. So
yes.
So is this true, and to what extent is this true?
So basically,
like in general,
to press the button, you have to send what you think the timer was at the second that you pressed, and the corresponding MAC, which is basically a hash of them things that is the key you have to press the button at the second. So if you artificially delay this message from the Reddit server point of view, you just lagged and sent the message too late from your shitty internet. And they just don't punish it really hard and allow the sticks to receive the flare the person who sent the tick thought he would receive. The window for that is about 20 seconds. I haven't actually experimented too much to determine the exact threshold. But I think that's too a reasonable thing to implement. Like, if this window were too short, a lot of people would just automatically get cheater flare because it took too long for the tick to reach the Reddit servers. Also, the thing is that they have to somehow propagate all the sticks throughout the CDN. So if this window was 0, it would just be impossible.
Okay, do zombies press shortly after they get my -1 tick, or do they wait like for 10 seconds to make sure no one else presses?
It doesn't matter. Like, this whole thing is awfully discrete. Like, it's 1 second, then another second. It doesn't actually matter what you do in between the seconds. So zombies send the click right after they receive the -1 tick.
Okay, let's say I receive the -1 tick. I wait for like 11 seconds, and then I send it. And since the button allows this, the timer is reset, right?
Yes, and you receive the flare you wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, if the timer is reset, it means that it's at 60 seconds now, or will it be, or would it be at 50 seconds?
Come again?
Okay, basically, okay, after the last tick, does the button stop ticking and wait for people with slow connections, or does it shut down immediately? Or does it keep just ticking and ticking?
Waiting for late clicks thing is actually this -1 and -2 ticks. And after -1 or -2, it just randomly changes. The button just locks. If you look at the broadcast, it sends mode ticking when the button actually ticks. And if no one pressed at the -1 point or -2 point, it just locks down and enters mode finished. Okay. It's no longer broadcasts timer value, and you can't send your post press the button IP endpoint anymore.
Okay, but I mean, okay. So you think that it's not possible to wait for 10 seconds and then send -1 tick?
You mean after the button has locked down?
Yeah, after the button shut down.
No, after the button has shut down, you just can't revive it unless you are power language.
Okay, this is interesting. Are you sure that it works this way? I mean, I know that the whole -1, -2 ticks were discovered during one of the glitches. But at the same time, there is like this 20 seconds window, and do you think that this 20 seconds window
it does not apply to the situation when the button has shut down.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Okay, thanks. Okay, there is another question, which is, why is your room so dark?
Because it's night here.
Okay. All right. So, So this is actually very interesting. Okay, I have a bunch of questions, and basically, if it weren't for you, the button would shut down already because zombies, well, just keep pressing the button, and if it weren't for you, it would be. I think it should have. Okay, my grammar is bad. So I think it should have shut down like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, I think.
Yes, it would have shut down on the 23rd of May if it weren't for zombies. And yes, this is so.
Okay, so my question is, why do you think Power Language didn't shut down it manually? Because since I think he's against this idea of zombies, and since he knows that zombie has pressed, so why didn't he shut down manually?
I think that his policy throughout this whole button project was to not intervene unless it died of his fault. And I think that he just tolerates zombies. He knows that we can't have too much of them, like to prolong the button for months.
I mean,
so he just waits.
Even 1,000 zombies prolong it for like 1 day. Okay, so there was a question: which flyer do you have? I think it's 56.
Yes.
56 seconds. Okay.
56.
Okay, there was a question: is it possible to write a code that could track users who pressed the button?
What?
This is the question from chat. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to interpret it correctly.
Not really, because I mean, you can know the total number of presses, and it's possible to know how many people have pressed the button in the past hour or so, but it's not theoretically possible to know how many reds are there or how many people with 0S flare are there because of this delay thing. I mean, if the button has reset at 50 seconds, it doesn't mean that someone pressed at 50 seconds. It may mean that someone pressed at the 0 second and his message was just delayed. So, unless you are a Reddit admin, it is not possible to know for sure.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, if someone commented on the subreddit, you can get his or her flyer. But this is, I guess, not the same thing as like getting everyone's flyer. And
how do you mean you can get flyer?
You can, well, if someone commented on the subreddit, you can get the flyer from this comment.
A very small portion of.
Yeah, but I agree. It's a very small portion. By the way, what's disappointing? So there is a comment in chat that's kind of disappointing. The button is alive. I think they promised to release anonymized data after the button ends. So yeah. So are you going to play with this data?
I don't expect much from this data because knowing Reddit admins, it just may be that 1,100,000 people press the button. That's just our summary of the data, and you won't get anything else. I mean, they could release a lot of data, like how people pressed, like distribution of delays, and so much and so on. But I doubt this will be the case.
Okay. So there is another question. Okay. So there is a question: what the hell is the button anyway? I have no idea. Just winning it here. Well, so I commented that it's like the subreddit, the button. And there is a button, there is a timer, and you can press the button only once, and when you press it, the timer is reset. So you can't really press it multiple times unless you have multiple accounts, or unless you technically meddle with your internet. In this case, you can press it multiple times, but the server will not register it. So either you are trolling or you haven't shitty internet connection.
I want to say that I think it is possible to do some race condition thing to send two simultaneous presses with different seconds. Do something like this. It's almost certainly that you would receive cheater flare, but you can try.
Okay. I haven't really thought about it. Might be bug. Well, maybe. I mean, there were some bugs, but they're relatively rare. It's probably has something. I mean, you need to press the button. You need to press it twice. First, you sort of unlock it, and the second time you actually press it. So, so I don't think that it is a bug. But well, there were some bugs. I don't think it's a bug. It's probably your internet connection, or you just unlock the button without actually pressing it. So, okay, my next question is this: what are some major fuck ups with with Squire or Necromancer? Were there any? Oops, I can't hear you. Sorry?
Oops.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually really surprised that Necromancer hasn't suffered some disastrous fuck-ups. It has like 100% of time. But there were a couple with the Squire. Like, I've been dosed, I've been flooded. The data center that the Squire is hosted in had some problems, and so on and so on. But there were some troubles with the updating. Like, I once pushed an update that just redirected 300 users to a staging server where everything was in very debug stage. So yeah, I then had to push an update to this debug service to redirect them back. There were a couple of problems with individual users who didn't receive the flare they wanted, or who received cheater flares. So yeah, the Squire is not like 100% reliable. But I've only encountered 2 such cases in hundreds that have pressed the button using the Squire. So yeah, that's it basically.
Okay. So are there any redundancy with Necromancer? Do you have like one Necromancer and like backup Necromancers of some sort?
I have 2 Necromancer servers. That does provide some N+1 redundancy against like hardware failures and stuff like that. And I'm also doing the best I can to hide the Necromancer server, so things just can be attacked from the other side, from the outside. And yes, the whole system is designed in a very robust, or so I think, way. And so far it hasn't suffered any failures, and I doubt it will suffer any until the end of the button.
Okay, so so there is an open-ended question that I always ask people, and it is, what is your advice to people who are just starting to learn programming, who don't have any professional experience, and who are just like beginning to learn?
Discover the thing you like and do it. Like, you may like to design websites, just go and do it. Or you may like to make games, so go and do it. Programming, unlike other hobbies, unlike other professions, is extremely easy to just pick up and do stuff with it. There are hundreds of tutorials, hundreds of very easy to grasp languages out there. So if you have any motivation at all, it is not really hard to pick it up.
Okay. Okay, and it is somewhat related to the question from chat, which is what would be a good way to learn coding if you know absolutely nothing about it?
Go and learn something.
Same advice or not?
Just go to Google and type, I don't know, Python tutorial, and you are all set.
Okay, that is learn programming subreddits and I learn Python. And there is a question: what is the difference between the Squire and Necromancer?
Necromancer is a thing that actually keeps the button alive, and the Squire is the thing that allows humans to spend their presses in the most efficient way.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. Didn't miss any questions from chat. Okay. So, if anyone has questions, just ask them in chat. Actually, okay. Question from class Python from Anonymous. How do we know that our language is against zombies? Well, I know because you told me.
He actually acted like this. Before I started the whole this zombie thing, I tried to talk with Power Language about it. So, I provided him with a very short list of accounts that I tend to, of my own accounts that I tend to use for this, and he just went and shadow banned them all. Yeah. Not actually shadow banned, he shadow banned them and changed the passwords. Or maybe he just deleted them.
Wow.
No way to know.
Wow, this is interesting. So, what if if those accounts were actually yours, why did he do this? I mean, couldn't he just disable the button for them?
Disabling the button for them would actually be work. Like, you would have to do some real coding for this. Banning the accounts is easy, and you can just go and do it.
Okay.
So, I don't know. He just did this, and I understood that he does not really approve the thing I'm doing, but I mean, who cares?
Okay. So there are some comments in chat, and there is another question from chat, which is what do you do for a living?
I'm a programmer. I write stuff for a living. I specialize in data analysis and machine learning. So what I do is either build models to do some weird stuff on data, or implement them, like in actual server-side code.
Okay. So I'm wondering what Power Language thinks about pressing the button if you have alt accounts.
Come again?
If you legitimately have multiple accounts, do you think Power Language approves pressing the button multiple times?
I think he just disapproved the thing I was going to build.
Okay.
But I built it anyway.
Okay. So basically, some people consider that auto pressing, auto clicking using Squire is sort of cheating. Well, what do you think about it? I mean, why don't you think it's cheating? And
cheating is not really defined in the button context. Like, the only rule is that you can press the button once.
But you don't actually press it. A bot does it for you.
It's the same thing. Like, there is no principal difference between a person clicking the button or a person running the script in his own browser clicking the button, or a server clicking the button while the person sleeps. And there's just, I don't actually break any rules that were set. The only rule is you can press the button once. I don't violate it.
Okay. But still, Power Language bans some of your accounts. So,
That's why I
Okay.
keep them secret.
Okay.
The funny thing is that I don't actually conceal my IP when I access them, so it is possible for him to just find out all the zombies I use and just carpet ban them.
Uh-huh.
But this would actually be some work for him to do. And from what I understood, he's not like a programmer, he's just some digital artist guy, and he just is not able to do this.
Mhm.
And I kind of rely on that.
Okay. So questions from chat. What really annoys you about the button about the subreddit, and what is the bad thing about the subreddit?
A lot of things annoy me about the subreddit. First, that it's just a regular subreddit with funny stuff upvoted to the top and really interesting stuff like downvoted into oblivion. This recent thing about the guy admitting he's gay is just, well. The second thing is that people don't actually go and read the fucking manual about it and ask the same questions all over and over again. Like, I saw the button hit 0. What if? I press the button and I can't press it again. What is the thing? Like, but I doubt I could expect something other than that.
Mm. Okay. So what's the best thing about the subreddit?
Stats and graphs, like this recent animated heat map is just godlike. I mean, this is awesome.
Can you send the link in chat?
One moment, I'll have to find it first. The second thing that I like is just all the lore that the sub has produced over this whole thing, over the whole time. Like the religions, the factions, the wars, takeovers, betrayals, drama. It's just
Okay. I'm going to show it on stream. Yeah, I saw this. It's really cool.
the interesting thing that I'm fairly sure this is based on a thing I did a couple of weeks ago, and I really love that people collaborate in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
They just pick up the things that other people did and improve on them. I mean, this just looks awesome.
I agree.
Can't argue with that.
Someone claims that he made this heat map. I'm not sure because
I don't believe him.
yeah,
He could just log in with his Reddit account.
Yeah.
I think the guy is called Theo Wall or Theo Well or something like that.
Okay. Regarding the wars, regarding the previous, like the latest one, takeover, over there are Knights of the Button subreddit by, I don't remember, by Assassins, yeah. So, what the fuck did happen?
Basically, one of the called moderators. I think his name was THJ.
Yeah.
He just decided to have some fun and defaced the subreddit.
Okay.
And kicked all the other mods. This was really childish because this was completely ineffective aside from the couple of hours that took the other admins to wake up. Well, I can't explain his motivation.
Do you think that he actually did this, or his account was compromised? Because I saw that something like that. His account was compromised by those evil guys. So yeah. Do you actually think that he did this intentionally?
I have no reason to believe otherwise. I just assume so.
Okay. And regarding the DDoS, like some guys DDoS the Squire, if I remember correctly. This was the same day, so I think it was somehow some coordinated effort.
Maybe there is no explicit link between these two events. Like no one aside from this shady guy of the Chaos Legion claimed the responsibility for this. So, and it wasn't really effective at all. I don't know.
Okay. Did it? I mean, how did you fix this problem with DDoS? Did you just ban some IPs?
That and the support of my hoster was really helpful in the situation. And the other thing is that renting a botnet for a DDoS actually costs money, and paying for something that just doesn't give any effect. I don't know. Maybe it was just a test.
So, do you think this can happen to Necromancer, or do you think you keep it in secret?
First, there is some redundancy, and second, security by obscurity, as I found out, actually works.
Okay. Okay, another question is this. I mean, do you think that, I think you already sort of answered this question because you told me that power language doesn't like to do any work or can't program or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so the question is, do you think that there can be a change in the buttons protocol, like removing those extra clicks and basically changing?
No way this is going to happen.
Why?
Like, this is absolutely impossible. Like, this whole thing has been running for 2 months, and the only change has been in assigning cheater flags in the very beginning. I think that the probability of nothing changing in the protocol, nothing changing in the actual algorithm of the shutdown is just overwhelming.
Okay, so why do you think they don't want to do this?
Why would they? Like,
I
this
don't know,
whole
why
thing
would
works.
they ban your zombies?
They were not zombies at the moment.
I mean, why would they ban your
just cops.
alt accounts?
They just decided to do so.
Yeah, but why can't they decide to?
He hasn't answered. Like, we sent him a list of the accounts we intend to use for the project, and he just banned them all. And we received no explanation for this action. And I just understood that I'm not going to have anything to do with paralanguage in the future.
Okay. So the question is, when the button ends, what will you do with all that spare time? Do you think that the subs linked to the button will survive?
Well, I think that it's expected that the sub of the button and all the related subs, like I don't know, violet hand or knight of the button will gradually die, and they just expect it as a logical thing to happen. And well, I have things to spend my spare time on. So yeah, I think that answers the question.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I'm running out of questions. So, so if you want to ask some questions, it's a very good time to do so. Because when I finally run out of every possible question, I will just end the stream unless there are other questions. So please ask them. So actually, I need to check Twitch and YouTube. No, nothing there. So some people and so me and some people thought about possibility of rebooting the button in some form, and like it would make sense to create a button spin-off, like a separate subreddit where the button resets like every week or something like that. Do you think anyone is going to do this? Personally, I think it would be a really cool thing.
I'm fairly sure that Reddit won't do anything like this.
Reddit won't do, but some people may decide to do so.
Some people, well, okay, they may do so, but obviously this won't have the same impact as the original button. Like, the whole idea, you can build a lot of stuff on this, like a button that several people have to press in some like order to reset it, or you have to do some complex action to reset it, or there's possibilities are endless. You can build a lot of interesting things on this idea. They just won't be as effective as the original button.
I agree. So a question from chat: have you cracked the hash yet?
No, and I won't. Like, yes, this is a hash of something, and if I could crack it, I could mitigate the already infinitesimal delay between the Necromancer and the Reddit servers. But why would I do that? I won't be able to send my process ahead of time because the Reddit server will actually know this. The only thing I'll be able to mitigate is the delay, which I don't care about it anymore right now. Like the Necromancer service has sub-millisecond latency to Reddit server, and I don't care about the delays.
It's interesting, sub-millisecond, really.
Same data center, I guess.
Okay, so it's in the same data center. Wow, this is surprising. Okay, if you had been asked to program the button, what would you have done differently?
Interesting. First, I would change this flare thing a bit. Like, it is possible to make it richer in a sense, like more colors, not colors, but some other interesting things, like more publicly available data on color distribution. Like, so it would be easier to know how many people of each flare are there. I would make it a bit more robust because the button has violently crashed, I think, one too many times. This whole thing is just so original that... what else? I think I would do something different with this latency thing and grace period in the end of the button. I mean, when we were discussing the possible grace period at the end, a good argument against it would be that people will actually see the button hitting 0, staying in 0, and then resetting. And we thought that no way Reddit admins are going to allow this to happen. But they did. And I think it's disappointed a lot of people. I think if I were parallel language, I would interact with the sub a bit more like adequately. I mean, the scandal with low res and what's his name? Jared Dawn or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. And cheater flare, glitcher flares.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could have been handled more better. It could have been handled better. Just power language ignoring a lot of people and doing nothing. I think upset a lot of people and caused a great hitchhiker exodus.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of things that could be improved on the button if it were done from scratch. But now this whole thing is basically spoiled, and you won't be able to just make another button and have the same success as the original thing.
Okay, question. Yeah, actually I agree. That's Hitchhiker, Exodus, and Power Language. I think he tried to handle it, and I think it was one of the posts. I think he left some sort of posts explaining why. And yeah, but people don't want it. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be easy to handle. I mean, he could just create a special type of flag for those people, like adding some sort of character like asterisk.
Yes, there were a lot of propositions how the situation could have been handled better, but they were all ignored. I don't know, maybe there are some, I don't know, very deep technical roadblocks on implementing these new custom flares, and it's just actually impossible, but we have no way of knowing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, maybe some sort of some part of the social experiment, some unexpected part. Maybe they decided, okay, they're just going to fight with the subreddit and see what happens. I don't know. Okay, what's your favorite subreddit, Abra? Question from chat.
No, I have no idea.
Do you have many?
So different. Let me look at the list of subreddits I subscribe to.
So I subscribe to like 500 subreddits, by the way.
I like bad number of name of science subreddits, like bad linguistics.
Oh yeah, I like bad linguistics.
They are fun. I like mncke. I like programming for the most part. Not for the most part. I like depth up, though it just the quality went down.
What was the last one?
Depth Hub.
Depth Hub. Never heard about it before. Depth.
There are a lot of really different, interesting subreddits, like I don't know, Ask Historians, that I like to read. They are really different. So I don't think they can be like linearly ordered. By the bestness or goodness. I think I'm going to add a few more zombies to the poll.
Okay. What was the best moment for you in these 2 months?
Pum pum. First, the Necromancer working so flawlessly is really satisfying, and is something I did not expect at all. Second, I actively participated in first something, like races, and won a few of them. Secondly, I was interviewed for a lot of media outlets like BBC. It was a fun experience. Second, I just like hanging out in Night of the Button and subreddit and talk with people. I met a lot of interesting nights there.
Mm-hmm. I see chat hype. Okay.
Get on the hype train.
Okay, did I miss any questions? YouTube isn't working for me. Live streaming is not available in your country due to rights issues. I guess you are from Germany. The reason is a stupid law. If it's not working for you, well, just watch it here. And if you can't watch it here because you have like low bandwidth, watch it later. It will be available under the same URL. But yeah, Germany has crazy law about live streaming because I don't know why, but they do have it. So, well, the YouTube is just mirror right now, and well, if you can watch it here, just watch it here. It's no different. There is less lag. Oh, okay. So it's a crazy law in Germany. So this is just a short answer. Okay, I'm running out of questions, like I mentioned. So yeah, I guess someone asked about your prediction when the button ends at the very beginning. Yeah. So okay, another question, which I think it was somewhat covered. So basically, the question is, what were some challenges, like some interesting challenges that you didn't anticipate?
Challenges. I mean, building this whole thing. I wouldn't call it a challenge, but it was interesting. I learned a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Challenges. Interacting with admins was a challenge in and out of itself. Getting this crazy number of zombies was a challenge. I think I forgot to mention the most interesting thing that was war with the assassins.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Like, they've been trying to infiltrate Squire because it has just an open client and an open protocol, and they were distributing accounts. They were distributing modified clients just to blow out the Squire user pool with users that won't actually click when ordered to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was implementing like some interesting safeguards against them that just figured out who were the bad guys and just carpet IP banned them. But they came back with more insidious ways to get in. And I implemented more safeguards, and they got more insidious, and it was really interesting until the point I won. Yeah. Basically, being an assassin nowadays is a pretty sad thing because you can't interact with Necromancer at all, and bringing Squire doesn't change much. So. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so how do you plan to return zombies back to people? Because some people wanted them back. Do you think it's going to be difficult because it will require a lot of manual work?
No, like I have an automatic tool to change the passwords to
Oh, okay.
something
So you're
else.
just going to change them back. Okay.
I'm just going to change them back, and
Automatic. Okay,
people
makes
will get
sense. Yeah, I forgot that you
their
have a
account back.
nice tool for doing this. All right. Right. So I'm out of questions, and unless I will come up with a couple of new ones. We're going to use questions from chat, and it's very likely that this stream will end in a few minutes. Well, unless you keep asking questions, so just keep asking them, and if you want to watch the stream. So there was a question: how many monitors do you both use? And I answered that I use just one monitor, but well, how many do you use?
I use two. Like I have one for for the IRC. I have my main laptop because I just can't stand coding on non-retina screen anymore. So I think that I would like a couple of more monitors here. Yeah. There is some space still left. Yeah.
Okay. Which operating system do you use?
Which what they use? Moment.
Which operating system do you use?
I use a MacBook with Mac OS X. I transitioned from Linux to this, and I find it really working, like many Linux things. How do you feel being put on trial? This was fun. I haven't learned of it until someone linked it to me.
Okay.
It's actually really interesting that the people who put me on trial like haven't interacted with me at all. Like they haven't sent me a single PM notifying me of this.
Can you send the link? What is this all about? What's jail?
So a branch of the assassins called Destructionists put me on trial. I'll find the post.
Okay.
Yes, Supreme Court's first case. So they put me on trial on the charge of necromancer, and it was a failure. A dude from the IRC like volunteered to be my attorney, and it turned out he's a real life attorney and he's real good at the thing he does.
Uh-huh.
So he just demolished the prosecution, and yeah, I was freed of the charge.
Okay.
I was given a warning though. So
okay.
So
So the link is in chat, so you can read it. Okay. Okay. Let me think. Oh yeah. I think I have another question. Was it difficult to build some sort of a model to avoid collisions, or was it a relatively straightforward thing?
Yes, it was really straightforward because the whole button thing is very black box. Like we don't really have much data to operate on, and it's also really random. So I just implemented this. The first thing that came to my mind is just definition of mathematical expectation and probability of collision. And so far it worked really well. So I guess it proves that Reddit is mostly random.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really interesting. Like the whole thing that zombies prolong the life of the button for so long. I mean, it's not surprising if you think about it, but at the same time, it's kind of fascinating.
How many zombies should I add to the pool? 300 this time.
Okay, so there are at least 300 zombies plus 200 already present. So there are at least 500 zombies. Interesting. Okay, let's wait for a couple more minutes for the questions, and if there are no questions, we will end the stream. And it was really fun to talk to you about the button, really interesting. Yeah, I'm out of questions. Yeah, the recording will be available on YouTube. I hope it works.
I think I'll post the link to the ear chat.
What you're going to post there?
I'll link to the ear chat. It's fun. Just chill out, man.
Okay, there is, by the way, there is RC channel bound button nights, and yeah, it's on free node, and there are some interesting things going. There is also Watch People Code channel on free node if you're interested in.
Like the thing I'm most proud of on this chat is a comment I implemented.
Okay, let me see this. Okay, my Hex chat client is bugging. Okay, I can't open it. Or maybe I can. Wait, let me check this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a cute kitty. Okay. I guess no more questions. I don't know. I mean, yeah, doesn't look like there are questions. I'm going to check Twitch. Maybe there. Nope, no, and no comments on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so we are ending the stream now. Thank you very much for watching. It was really fun stream, and it was really interesting to learn a lot about the button. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess, yeah, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for I can't pronounce your nickname. Is it mncke or something like more?
It's just like XKCD. It's not intended to be pronounced, and it's just designed to be hard to pronounce.
Okay, say thank you very much for joining me, and yeah, if you want to chat to, then I'm going to pronounce your nickname. You can go on IRC. Here's the link. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I'm going to select it. It's basically button nights on free node, but there is a web chat, and there is Watch People Code channel if you want to chat with me. Although I also hang out on button nights, starting from a few days ago. Where can we watch the stream? Okay. The stream is over, but the recording will be available in a few minutes on YouTube. Basically, I cross-stream to YouTube, and if you don't know, YouTube has some support for live streaming. And so I basically cross-streamed, and there is a live stream on YouTube, which is going to be converted into a normal video. And here's the link. You can watch it within, I think, 1 or 2 minutes, or maybe almost instantaneously. But the last video is corrupt on YouTube. Yeah, you can't really watch. Is it really corrupt? I think I updated it. I think, yeah, there were some challenges during the previous episode. I'm not really sure what caused them, but I'm 99% sure it was Google Hangouts and I don't think they caused this issue directly. I think it's that they're just really slow, and my laptop couldn't handle both Google Hangouts and live streaming because both things are CPU intensive. What are your accents? Russian accents. So today you had twice as much Russian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for that fuck up with YouTube. But by the way, there was some weirdness with the previous stream. So basically, for a few days, the recording was available, and then YouTube sort of deleted it. So I had to re-upload it, and it's now available again. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, bye. I'm stopping streaming, stopping recording, stopping streaming. Bye. See you